Hey guys, welcome back to another Buns video. I know I haven't made a video for a while. It's I've been going to college and stuff, and that requires a lot of work and attention, and I've just had a lot of stuff going on. But it is now the NFL off season, and so time to make some videos, I guess. So I'm here at the full 32 round mock draft. I thought this was the appropriate time to make one. Is the combine just ended and Antonio Brown got traded, which definitely changed the landscape of the NFL. So here we go. I don't want to take too long on each pick, so because if I spend a minute on each, it'll still be a 32-minute video. So here we go. So pick number one. First off, I'd like to say this video is powered by Mockout, the app. If you want to make NFL mock drafts, it's a great app. But so here we go. So, everyone's been saying, Cliff Kingsbury recruited Kyler Murray heavily, loves him. Now is the first overall pick, so he's gonna take him. I don't know, honestly, how well this pick would pan out. In my opinion, Kyler Murray is definitely a project player still. But I definitely have him graded a lot higher than I would, like, Lamar Jackson, say. Kyler Murray is not just runner. He could definitely throw it with accuracy and precision. My worries with him are more personality. Because, believe it or not, I actually kind of have some connections to him a little. And from what I've heard, he's got a pretty sour personality. But we'll see about that. Okay, so on to the next pick. San Francisco. Should be a no-brainer here. Take Nick Bosa. According to most people, the number one talent in the draft, but in my opinion, that would be Quinnen Williams. No bias, cover that. No bias, though. But yeah, in my opinion, number one talent would be Quinnen Williams. But San Francisco takes Nick Bosa, add to their pass rush, get a guy that could be a perennial Pro Bowler. Up next, New York Jets have a big decision to make. Do they take Quinnen Williams, or do they go Josh Allen? The linebacker from Kentucky, not to be confused with the quarterback who got drafted last year. In my opinion, they go Josh Allen, who's a freak of nature, dominated the SEC. Most teams in that situation would go a Quinnen Williams there, I believe. But New York Jets already have Leonard Williams, who in my opinion is very underrated defensive lineman. So instead, go with Josh Allen. Up next, Oakland Raiders just traded for Antonio Brown. They could go... Well, no, they actually can't go a lot of ways this pick. In my opinion, there's only one way to go with it, and that's Quinnen Williams, number one talent in the draft. Check out Brett Coleman's video on him. He covers players very well, in my opinion, and you'll see he's just freak of nature. Up next, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have a lot of needs. They could get rid of Winston, honestly, but I think they'll give him one more year, and maybe if they want to replace him, look to maybe Tua or Jake Fromm next year. But I think this year they'll keep not Tua. Winston is their quarterback. Instead, they'll focus on the defense and take Rashawn Gary, who posted a 4.58 40 at 270 pounds. And Gary could play all over their D-line, very, very versatile. Good pick for them. Good solid pick. Up next, New York Giants. And honestly, the one thing holding them back is Eli Manning, in my opinion. And so they go with Dwayne Haskins, who honestly might be a little underrated in my opinion. In his one season in college, put up some crazy numbers, played with poise, accuracy, confidence. He could be a franchise quarterback for them for years to come. So good pick there. Distribute the ball to Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, Saquon, Odell. Great pick there in my opinion. Up next, Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm predicting they'll get Nick Foles in free agency. They'll give him a target. And DK Metcalf, who dominated the combine. Came in at 1.9% body fat, ran a 4.33 40, freak of nature. The only question with him is he had limited production at Ole Miss, mainly due to injuries. But the ceiling on him is huge, but the floor, it's also low. So, kind of a gamble there by Jacksonville. Good pick, though. Up next, Detroit. They have issues all over the place. Ian Matthew Stafford might be on his way out. I don't know. I bet he'll rebound this year, though. But this franchise, I think, definitely could use a pass rusher, especially having it go up against Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins in their division. So they take Montez Sweat, who, in the combine, ran a 4.42, is a 260-pound defenseman. Just freak of nature. and had great production at Mississippi State. I really value production, and so excellent pick there. Fills an immediate need, especially if Ziggy Ansah leaves. After that, Buffalo Bills. They got their franchise quarterback in Josh Allen, I believe. He showed in the latter end of the year a lot of potential, I believe. And so they will invest in protecting him with Jawan Taylor, who's really come on here in the offseason, especially as a pass protector. Next up, Denver. They're in a win-now situation, I believe. They have, what's his face? Can't remember, but the former Ravens, correct, Joe Flacco. And he can definitely win for them, but they might want to invest in a quarterback, or they could wait till next year, like I said before, which has a better QB class, I believe. So they could go a lot of ways here. I believe what they will do is just build one of the freakiest pass rushes out there and take Ed Oliver to be their interior lineman. Think about that. Ed Oliver, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. I mean, that's just ridiculous, because some people didn't have Ed Oliver as... Or a few months ago, a lot of people had Ed Oliver as the number one prospect in his class. Not anymore. He's dropped a little in the offseason, but that would just be freaky. Up next, Cincinnati. They could go quarterback here, but I don't feel they will. I think they will go with a linebacker, Devin White, as they probably have the worst linebacker group in the league, and their only good linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. Half the time he's not even on the field, whether he's injured or suspended or goodness knows what. Up next, Green Bay. No-brainer here. They go Brian Burns, pass rusher from Florida State, dominated the combine. One question about him was, will he be big enough for the pros? He came into the combine weighing 249 pounds, which is about 29 pounds heavier than some expected. So he's definitely raised his stock here. Up next, Miami. They could go quarterback, and I think they will. They take Drew Lock, prepare for life after Ryan Tannehill, or, may get rid of Tannehill. Who knows? But they need a quarterback. Mediocre quarterback play has been holding them back since Marino left, basically. They've just been a mediocre franchise, and they need to find a guy to get them out of that ditch. Next, Atlanta. They have a loaded roster, but I feel the one area they struggled in this year was kind of the secondary. So they take Greedy Williams, who many think is the number one corner in this class, to man down the field. Because every Falcons fan will tell you Desmond Trufant is extremely overrated. And besides Trufant, they don't have any even decent corners. So that's one area they're really struggling, and I feel that'll fill a definite need for them. Make them contenders or Super Bowl again, in my opinion. Up next, Washington. They struggled with offensive line health. They struggled with a lot of things, especially health, honestly. So what way could they go with this pick? I think what they mostly need is a wideout that's capable of stretching the field, making plays, being a playmaker. They didn't really have anyone making plays for him this year. So they take N'Keal Harry, wide receiver from Arizona State, who had a pretty good combine. Up next, Carolina Panthers. They need to keep Cam Newton upright, so they go with offensive tackle or guard, whichever he wants to play, or whichever he's played at. Jonah Williams, excellent player. One question about him is his arm length, but I think his technique will make up for that. Up next, Cleveland, who is looking very good, has lots of potential. Honestly, the roster is really filled out, kind of. But they could use, honestly, I think their biggest area of need is a defensive tackle. They could go Wilkins or Lawrence. I feel they'll go with Wilkins, who is a bit more dynamic as a pass rusher than Lawrence. Up next is Minnesota. If they don't go with offensive line here, half their fan base will revolt, probably. So they will go with offensive tackle Andre Dillard from Washington State, who impressed at the combine. He's looking like the most refined of all the protectors this year. Up next, Tennessee. Oof, I need to clear my throat there. Ugh. They need to get some kind of decent target for, what's-his-face? Marcus Mariota. So I feel they go wide receiver here, and that wide receiver will be Paris Campbell, the receiver from Ohio State. Came on in the combine, showed he could be a burner, so they go Paris Campbell there. Up next, Steelers. Do they go wide receiver? Do they go linebacker? I don't know, because they just got rid of Antonio Brown. Ryan Shazier probably will never play football again. We all hope he will, but honestly, it's not looking good right now. So do they go Devin Bush? Who do they go with? Well, I feel Big Ben, honestly, he needs a good wide receiver. Because you look throughout his career, Hines Ward, Antoine Randall, Plaxico Burress, he's always needed really good wide receivers, honestly. They definitely elevate his play. I feel the Steelers will understand that and go with Antonio's cousin, Marquise Brown. Burner. He's kind of dropped off here in the offseason because wasn't able to participate in the combine due to an injury he got near the end of the year. But I think that'll be a really good pick for the Steelers. Replace Antonio with his cousin. After that, the Seattle Seahawks, who even in a rebuilding year surprisingly made the playoffs. Their number one need is tight end. So they go with TJ Hawkinson here. I feel like they'll go with him over Fant because he's more of a refined run blocker, which Pete Carroll definitely values. After that, Baltimore, they could go with, the smart pick here would be defender, to be honest. But they just need to help Lamar develop and get him targets. So they go with Kelvin Harmon, the wide receiver from NC State. Big body dude, can make plays, help Lamar out in his development. After them, Houston, still, there's Clelin Ferrell on the board, have been a disappointing combine. Houston will not go with him, though. They will go with offensive tackle Cody Ford, as they need to keep Watson upright, or else he'll get sacked out of the league, just like David Carr. After him, Oakland. And who do they go with? Well, I think here you just gotta go best player on the board, Clelin Ferrell. Easy pick for the Raiders. Him and Williams will be nasty on that D-line. After them, Philadelphia Eagles. They could go a lot of areas with this pick. They could, corner is a big need, running back. And some have said defensive line they could use help at. I feel they will go with cornerback, though, as most Eagles fans would agree that is the area they got exposed at most. And I think they will go with Byron Murphy, the cornerback from Washington. Really came on late in the year, made some great pick sixes. Excellent player. I really like his fundamentals. After them, Indianapolis, and I'm assuming the Colts get Le'Veon Bell in free agency here. I feel like they're the team that's most likely to get him. So they already have their running back. So they're really just looking for best defender in a way. Now, Devin Bush, I don't think they'll take because obviously they have Darius Leonard, who won Defensive Rookie of the Year. But out of all these defenders left, I would dare say that it's either Baker or Dexter Lawrence is the best player. And I think they will go with Dexter, who will plug up the middle, help make plays against some of the good running backs in that AFC South area. So good pick for the Colts. After then, Oakland again. Their offense is already looking pretty good. So they go with the third defender here and take Devin Bush to shore up that linebacker core for him. So they can Devin Bush, Clelin Ferrell, and Quinnen Williams for the Raiders. Their offense is good now. And now they're just stacking that defense. Next, Chargers. They would have wished Wilkins had fallen here because the area that they're definitely weakest at is interior defensive lineman. But I don't see... They could go Jerry Tillery, but I just don't see him as a first-round prospect. So instead, I think they will go somewhere on the offensive line and either go offensive tackle and Cahuste or Dalton Reisner. But I think they'll instead go with Garrett Bradbury, who had an excellent combine, earned himself a first-round selection. I assume my head over here now that these buttons are here. Kansas City. Their defense just let them down game after game after game. Pathetic defense, really. So they're going to draft in that area. I feel they go with DeAndre Baker, who in my opinion is the number one corner in this class. Remember, this draft I'm doing is what I predict will happen, not what I would do necessarily. I feel Baker is just a 4.540 turned a lot of people off on him because 4.5 isn't fast. So it's fast enough. Sherman ran like a 4.65, and he was the best corner of my generation. Richard Sherman was. So Baker, I think he could be really good. So Kansas City picks up a stud there. Green Bay Packers, nearing the end of Aaron Rodgers' career. They need to start winning for him. So they could go, I think, two ones here are either Josh Jacobs or Noah Fant, because I already went with defense earlier and Brian Burns. I feel between these two players, the more pressing need would be tight end, as Aaron Jones is pretty good for them when he's healthy at running back. So they go Noah Fant. Next, LA Rams. They'll need all kinds of stuff on the defensive side of the ball probably here. So I think they're looking either Polite or yeah. Ja'Kai Polite from Florida had disappointing combine. Should still go in the first round probably though. Finally, New England. They're not going to go Josh Jacobs. I've seen some people have Josh Jacobs go at Patriots. They've got Michelle. He's an excellent back. So I think as New England, you're more looking from what should we call it? Oh, that's right. You're looking for more of a receiver because they don't have dominant outside receiver right now. Edelman's more of a slot dude. So I feel they go wide receiver, and for wide receiver they go Hakeem Butler, the 6'6" freak from Iowa State. And that will round out the draft. I know what you guys think. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Buns out.